Recorded live at Talks and Tasting Studios, it's the Clerical Errors Podcast, the podcast that shows you what's behind the collar. Let's go.
From the Talks and Tasting Studios, this is the Clerical Errors Podcast, the podcast that shows you
what's behind the collar.
This is Bollhagen.
This is Berg.
This is Vicar.
Peter's here.
Hey, Pete.
Welcome to the show. So, what do you think, Berg? How does this one look into you?
No, he's a lot more blonde than the last one.
Yeah, you're our 8th Vicar on the show.
Wow. Big shoes.
Right. Which was your favorite, Berg? Because we kind of, in our minds, we kind of rank them and see we'll see where you fit in later. But it's hard to beat 15.0, the G. It was great to have him on.
Yeah, it was. I mean, just because he was the first.
Right.
You know, I mean, yeah. Well, and he did everything you asked him to do, no matter how silly. So.
That's true. All the other vicars have had their line at which they refused, but he did not.
Last year was just like a 21.0 was no.
You couldn't even make him say the got that dog in me.
Right. Can you say, you're from Missouri, right? You got that dog in you.
Got that dog in you.
There you go.
Yeah.
That came from a real place.
Uh-huh. I've said it a few times.
Nice.
Right. Is that a Southern thing?
That is.
Missouri's kind of Southern, isn't it?
We're like, depends on what you consider Southern. I think so. But we're kind of that half and half. So depends on who you ask.
Right. Depends on who cuts you off in traffic.
Right. Well, yes.
So where's the dividing line? Is it like Branson?
No. Again, it kind of depends on who you ask. I would say somewhere around the Missouri River is the dividing line. Because people north of that are more like Iowa and Nebraska and that area. But you go south of that towards like Lake of the Ozarks, and they're like Arkansas down there. So
Iowa people make fun of Missouri people. Who do Missouri people make fun of?
Iowa people.
Really?
Well, everybody, kind of. If you're not a Missourian, you're probably going to get made fun of by us. So
nice. Well, you and Berg have something in common.
Is that right?
Yeah. You're both farmer kids.
Oh, would you look at that?
That's right.
What kind of farm?
Corn, beans. We did do a little bit of wheat for a while, and then swine, and then my dad had beef cows back in the early 90s.
So, Minnesota. So,
okay.
Oh, I should do my top 12 list.
Peter, play the intro.
Oh, come on. That all you got?
More gravitas, Vicar. Mean it.
Right. What did you think of that, Berg? Was that?
You know, it wasn't even the volume. It was very fast.
Right. Like you just wanted to get it over with.
Kind of
it's dismissive. Yeah.
Right.
Course, yeah.
I can tell that first sermon is just going to be slow down, Vicar. Breathe. Breathe. Yeah. So
try one more time, Vicar.
One more time. Peter, play the intro. Better.
We'll work on it.
Well, no, we need to find it. All right. Find the sweet spot. Like now, emphasize play. Extend that a little bit. Right. All right. Here we go.
Peter, play the intro.
Enough nonsense. It's time for Bollhagen's Top 12.
Hey. Huh? That's kind of
you're dipping too far into 15.0 energy, man. Let him breathe for a couple episodes.
One more attempt. All right. Okay. You're at a Cardinals game, and you're announcing a Latin player, but you're not announcing Latin player. You're saying, Peter, play the intro.
Peter, play the intro.
Ah!
Despacito.
All right. By the way, Vickers, just show you how dedicated it was. I have all my top 12 list, 2 top 12s, the speed one and the questions. I wrote these when I came in this evening. So
dedication.
I got
so he's been at it for several hours. Yeah.
All right. These are my top 12 things I like about getting a new vicar each year. You have to do the numbers. Starting with 12. Can you count backwards?
I think.
All right.
12.
The new vicar smell.
11.
Someone hasn't heard my jokes yet.
10.
I love it when others are afraid.
9.
I get tired of the old vicar.
8.
It's nice to have someone forced to look up to me.
7,
Easy podcast content.
6,
It helps me keep my eye on our seminaries.
5,
Reminds me of my mortality.
4,
Having Berg humble someone is great.
3,
Reminds me I should clean my office in the studio.
2,
The awkward first phone call.
1.
Someone has to do it.
that is a solid top 12 list.
That's pretty
great.
good.
That's a good one.
What's your favorite about beating the new vicar every year, Berg?
The novelty, I guess.
Yeah.
It's nice to
Yeah.
shake things up a little bit.
Vicar, Peter, explain what I mean by having Berg humble the vicar.
I don't have to explain.
Right.
Let's see if we can make it through this episode.
Right. Because a lot of times, Vicar, once in a while, Vicar will think they're making a great point, and Berg will say, well, actually, not putting too much pressure on you, Berg, am I?
We're looking over at Burke. He's cracking his neck. He's getting ready.
He's getting ready All right. What are we preaching on, Vicar?
Preaching on the ninth Sunday after Trinity. For
All right.
the gospel text is Luke 16.
And what does that gospel lesson say? This is your first time me hearing you read, so don't mess it up. Okay?
No. Luke 16, verses 1 through 13. And Jesus also said to the disciples, there was a rich man who had a manager, and charges were brought to him that this man was wasting his possessions. And he called him and said to him, what is this that I hear about you? Turn in the account of your management, for you can no longer be manager. And the manager said to himself, what shall I do, since my master is taking the management away from me? I am not strong enough to dig, and I am ashamed to beg. I have decided what to do, so that when I am removed from management, people may receive me into their houses. So summoning his master's debtors one by one, he said to the first, how much do you owe my master? He said, 100 measures of oil. He said to him, take your bill and sit down quickly and write 50. And he said to another, how much do you owe? He said, 100 measures of wheat. He said to him, take your bill and write 80. The master commended the dishonest manager for his shrewdness. For the sons of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own generation than the sons of light. And I tell you, make friends for yourselves by means of unrighteous wealth, so that when it fails, they may receive you into the eternal dwellings. One who is faithful in a very little is also faithful in much, and one who is dishonest in a very little is also dishonest in much. If then you have not been faithful in the unrighteous wealth, who will entrust to you the true riches? And if you have not been faithful in what is another's, who will give you that which is your own? No servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money.
All right. Berg knows this is my favorite one, isn't it?
I know.
So,
I know.
So there's several things you can talk about. Did you study this one in the seminary? What this means?
I don't think we did study this one.
All right. I wrestle with this, but I like Berg's response to this and understanding. Gives you a chance to teach us to be shrewd and to be faithful with what God has given us. And what do you think, Berg? You got a lot to say about this.
Yeah, I mean, that word for shrewdness is phronimos, which is the same word that's used of the so-called wise virgins.
Okay.
So I think the first thing you could talk about is that Christianity is always practical wisdom. It's not sophos, wisdom, like, some kind of navel-gazing thing, but it's actually very practical wisdom. It's prudence, okay?
Right.
Well, what's prudence? Well, this guy's going to be out of a job. You're going to die, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing, right? The second thing is prudence actually looks at what you can and can't do. Prudence knows that life isn't some Disney fairy princess movie where I can be whatever I want to be. This guy actually looks at himself and says, I cannot dig, I am ashamed to beg, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he has the goal in mind. He knows what's going to happen to him. He knows his own limitations, and then he acts accordingly. Well, for the Christian life, well, what does that look like for us? Well, we're going to die. We're going to have to give an account of our wealth here, our stewardship of things here on earth.
Mm-hmm.
We know that our one true wealth is Jesus Christ because, as he said earlier in Matthew's gospel, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And so this frees us up for, to use wealth in ways that are to God's glory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Make friends for yourself by means of unrighteous mammon. Well, how do you make friends for yourself? By making other Christians. Right? So missionary activities, giving to the poor, forgiving debt, et cetera, right? I mean, all of these ways make friends when you do them as a Christian. And I think that line, for the sons of this world are more shrewd in their generation than the sons of light, also points to our divided nature, that we are not perfect yet. Otherwise, we could we could be single-minded towards the kingdom of God, but we're not. We still have a diseased nature. A lot of the things we do, we don't understand. The good that we want to do, we don't do. And the evil that we don't want to do, we end up doing, right? And so we've kind of got divided loyalties in this life. Whereas the children of this world, well, they can devote themselves entirely to wealth because for them, there is no other world.
Right. Is this why when we try to make worldly music, it's not nearly as good?
It's like, what's that? King of the Hill, when Hank is talking to the rock pastor, right? You're not making Christianity better. You're making rock and roll worse.
We're not offending you, are we, Vicar?
No.
So,
No.
I mean, the whole idea here is, I don't know, it's just funny that people find this text so hard to preach on because Jesus tells us how to use it, right? Make friends for yourself by means of unrighteous mammon, so when you fail, you may enter into the heavenly places, okay? Like, I actually got told by a pastor here the other day that, we got to look for the Christological meaning to this. It just can't be a sermon on stewardship. I don't know. Jesus is telling the parable. That makes it pretty Christological, in my opinion.
That's true.
And secondly, the Christological point here is that Christ has died for you. He is your treasure. That treasure is in heaven. And so that frees you up to use earthly wealth in a way that glorifies him and serves your neighbor. Like, you cannot have a right relationship with wealth apart from Jesus.
Right. So what kind of earthly wealth is greater than being purchased by the blood of Christ? Nothing.
Exactly.
So it places all of that into perspective. And faithfulness in those things kind of can reflect faithfulness. It all ties together from the practical point of view. I guess that's what you'll learn as a vicar, right? It's not just, as he was talking about, the ideas and theories and those type of things. What is theology ultimately? Looking at your navel at the seminary or actually going out and doing it?
Making disciples of all nations.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, and part of that discipleship or learning, right, is to look at wealth, right? Because guess what? I think people use money all the time.
That's
right?
true.
I mean, people are using money any day. Is there anything more practical to talk about than our relationship to something that we spend a lot of our time earning and a lot of our time spending?
Right. How often at a voters meeting, Berg, is the treasurer's report longer than the pastor's report?
Quite often.
Correct.
Or the sort of zeal towards, like, for example, absent saints or people who haven't been to church in a while. Look at the zeal of that compared to, we want to spend $200, to fix the doors.
Right.
I can tell you which one typically garners more discussion.
Right. Or we need to bring these members in because we need their cash.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, I think the Nietzsche lectionary does a good job of picking a different text for Trinity 9. It's Acts 16:16 through 34.
Mm-hmm.
This is Paul and Silas imprisoned and then the Philippian jailer. And it's just amazing how much this text has to do with money. So the demon-possessed girl here, who has a spirit of Pythion, right, which is where the Oracle of Delphi was, right? So we typically translate it as divination. She was bought by she brought her masters much profit by fortune telling. That word profit here shows up many times. And it's the same word for work, only it's within business, right? It's the business that you make from working. And her lords, because the word there's kurios, they actually are making a profit off of her labor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's a lot to say here because, her job, what they make a profit off of, is damning her soul. Like, she's not just a slave bodily, but she's also a slave spiritually. And they're taking advantage of that and making a profit off of it, which I think could have a lot of applications to today.
Certainly. A lot of discussions on vocation.
Well, yeah. Or, things like, we pray for all lawful occupations on land, sea, and air, but we don't typically talk about the unlawful ones.
Right.
Like signing up for OnlyFans or something along those lines, right?
Right. When people talk about that, generally people think of, I should stop. It's hurting my own soul. How often do they think of, well, this is actually damaging the soul of someone else?
Exactly. There's a lot of debasement and denigration that happens not only physically, but also to the soul. And they don't care about that, right? All they care about is their profit. And that's where it says here, but when her masters saw that their hope of profit was gone, that idea of hope, right?
Uh-huh.
Think of how many times that shows up in the Bible, right? One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one hope, one calling. Well, their hope is not in the true God, but it is in profit, right?
Right.
And it's interesting. They seize Paul and Silas and then drag them to the marketplace. Oh, the marketplace, the temple of the idol Mammon.
Mm-hmm.
To the authorities. Oh, when do you think the lords of finance go and try to co-opt political power? But it's interesting because they don't ever talk about profit. The lords of finance always talk patriotism. Patriotism and tradition. These men being Jews, they're not like us, guys. They're foreigners. They're troubling our city. Law and order all the way, baby. Right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
These are the same guys who would say Blue Lives Matter. Right? And they teach customs which are not lawful for us, being Romans to receive or observe. Oh, tradition. Oh, look. You see, they never really come out and say, hey, we're just angry and we want you to punish these guys because they took away our money and our profit.
Right.
Right? So this also teaches us that the apparent meaning or the formal meaning of what somebody says may not always be the actual meaning.
Right.
The real meaning, right? And then we see the life of God without money and with money, because you look at Paul and Silas, they've been beaten with rods, and then they're in prison. Their feet are in the stocks, but what do? They pray and they sing hymns to God. That a Christian can be happy without money and in want and in dire straits, right?
Mm-hmm.
And still be happy and still rejoice.
Especially
the word of God can be preached in even the prisons, right?
Right. Especially in that instance when it was for doing something good.
Right. Yeah. And then you see the life of Christ with money, right? Because after the Philippian jailer is converted, right, what happens? They speak the word of the Lord to him. He's baptized, and then he takes care of them, right? He washes their wounds. He sets food before them. He takes care of them, right? Once again, a correct use of money, right? That a worker is actually worth his wages.
All right. Very good.
So if people are looking for another text to preach on, that one is fun. You should do it.
Maybe I'll do that.
If you're too,
but it's not in the LSB.
Yes. Those assemblers are probably shedding a tear. Yep.
You're gonna get me canceled at the seminary. Oh
Hey.
wait, this is St. Louis. I'm cool.
Oh, yeah. You're cool.
We're okay
You got
with
it.
that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's be honest. There aren't that. I don't think there are that many important people that listen to us, anyways. So
That's true.
that's okay.
Yeah, if you're an important person, how can they get a hold of us?
You can email us at feedback@clericalerrors.org. We have a Facebook page, facebook.com/clericalerrorspodcast. We have a Twitter.
At me, bro. It's actually X now.
Is it X?
Twitter.
At
We like to live in the past.
I totally get it because I don't know what any of them are. So, but at X, at Clerical Errors P for podcast, and we have a Patreon at patreon.com/Clerical Errors Podcast.
And by the way, we do have a store that you can click on. You can actually buy a shirt. You buy a shirt, a mug, all those things. You know that?
I didn't know that. You can get swag.
You can get swag. That's how we roll. So
So my sister made me a shirt. It's got a bear on it, and it says, "My flabbers have been gasted."
Nice. So, Berg, do you feel like you know this vicar yet, or should we kind of ask him some questions to get to know him?
I think we should ask him some questions.
Well, looky here. I got 12 questions to ask.
Ha!
Peter, play the intro.
Oh, say it like you mean it. Come on.
Peter, play the intro.
All right.
Enough nonsense. It's time for Bollhagen's Top 12.
He'll get there. It's his first day.
Process.
It's his first day. So I have 12 questions to get to know the vicar. With every vicar, I can't see my writing. I don't know what it is.
Very true.
All right. So I have questions for you to answer.
Okay.
Real easy. Really easy.
I like that.
All right. Just to help us get to know you better.
Number 12.
If you could add a festival to the church year, what would you add and why?
If I could add a festival, are we talking about like major things, or can I pick some just random?
Do what you want to do. It's a open-ended question.
Then I think we should add a festival sometime in the middle of the green season of like the halfway point of the common era. Say you've made it halfway through, right?
Okay.
So you're almost to Advent. I don't know what to call it yet, though. We'll workshop that.
Let's see, what would be about halfway? How about, I got it. So we have like March 15th, commemoration of I'm missing the word. Help me out. When Mary gets pregnant, what is it? We call that the
Annunciation.
Annunciation. Yes. Right. So about 3 months later, she should be done with her morning sickness in like June, like June 25th. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. June 25th. You could do, I don't even know what you'd call that.
Well, you could always do the Nativity of St. John the Baptist. That's on the 24th.
Oh,
That's
pretty
also
good.
mentioned in Dracula. Jonathan
We were-
Parker goes to visit Castle Dracula on the 24th, and they keep warning him, don't be about, because this is the night when evil reigns.
Mm.
we were all thinking it,
Oh.
Berg. Thanks for. All right.
There's your historical reference.
That's
and
right.
Literary reference, so
This is why Berg is a national treasure.
I want to say yes.
All right. So why? Why specifically? It's just because you need to break it up a little bit.
Well, people always tell me all the time, why is the altar still green? Right? Because in the first half of the church year, it's always changing. But then you get to the common time and everybody says, why is it still green all the time? Where's our, why can't we change it up a little bit?
Okay.
So you could launch into a long explanation of why the color green is there, and maybe that's useful.
Okay.
But I don't know,
Like super green.
like super green. Yes.
All right.
You know, you
Oh.
could always get a couple different shades of green.
Oh,
That's true.
that sounds like a Kermit movie I don't want to see.
Ah,
What do you have, Peter?
What? Oh, I just some Arcola.
now you're talking.
Have you ever had
here is
Arcola
our
whiskey?
I have
here
not.
is our promotional for our cola whiskey. It's great. Right now,
What's going on?
Peter, the producer, is drinking the pecan finished.
Absolutely.
Can you give some notes on that there, Peter?
You can really taste the Wyoming.
Like a freshness, new beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, not like the trailer
Perfect for the
park.
green season.
Perfect for the green season. Yeah.
Yes.
But it also would be nice in the fall as well.
Oh, yeah. It's good at any time you wear green.
So that the pecan one, what would that would that be good with a mixer? What would that be good to be mixed with if you're looking for a mixed
That'd be a
drink?
shame.
That would be a shame.
Neat, huh? Just neat.
Yep. Now, regular Arcola, if you mix it with lemonade, like a Minute Maid lemonade, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Actually, I've been meaning to try it with some Coke. I think that'd be pretty good.
Well, that pecan might be good with some ice cream. A little on some ice cream.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you probably want something a little more heavy and weightier, you know?
Maybe
Right.
like instead of rum in a milkshake, you use this.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, you can buy Arcola at Spirits and Spice. So, take a look. Little bit of shameless promotion because it's free.
Sometimes I wonder why Berg sticks with a podcast, and then it hits me.
We got a built-in audience, so we get like
All right.
1,200 downloads, don't we?
Total, we've got like 50,000 or 60,000.
Yeah,
than
but
that.
like for every episode.
Oh, like 100.
Oh, that's it? Oh, man.
We're getting there.
Well, we need to work harder. Vicar, work harder.
Vicar. Now, this is a perfect St. Louis guy thing to
I
do.
love both of you. We need to work harder. Vicar.
Right. They gotta have it teach a class on promoting podcasts or something, don't they?
We're the hip seminary, so
I
of
know.
course, yes.
Right. I remember one time I went to there and every student looked like they worked at the Apple store for some reason. I don't know why that was.
Problem with us, it's true.
All right. We'll work on that.
Number 11.
What's so special about Missouri that our synod is named after it?
Well, we are clearly the best state because we have everything.
Okay.
We have forests. We have mountains. Most people don't know that. We have,
Well, now you're talking to Berg, who's in Wyoming. You
Okay.
realize that.
yes,
But you do. What's the tallest point?
it's Tom Sauk Mountain. I think it's, now I can't remember off the top of my head how tall it is. It's like 1,000, maybe a couple thousand feet.
Okay.
So no like 14ers or anything like that.
Right.
But
1,772 feet.
Enough
Oh.
for a nice hike.
mhm,
Yep. I'm like four times as tall as that right now in this office.
Pictures make it look like a hill.
Well, hey, in Iowa standards, that's like ridiculous. Like,
for the rest of the country that doesn't have these majestic mountains when they look out the window, that one's pretty tall for me anyway. But we also have Perry County, which is where we all come from. So
nice.
How about Lake of the Ozarks? Nice reservoir.
say that again.
Lake of the Ozarks, right? Isn't that a big
Yes.
reservoir?
Yeah, Lake of the Ozarks is a lot of fun. It's our own beach in the middle of Missouri. So yeah, so you don't even have to leave the state to go to the beach, and you don't have to worry about sharks or anything like that. So I feel like we have it all. which
Snapping
is
turtles,
why-
though.
Oh,
And then there's Branson.
and then there's Branson,
I
Which
don't know,
is-
man.
our own little slice of paradise.
Both of the biggest cities in Missouri are trying to leave Missouri.
You know, people say that, and I always wonder what it is that makes them think they're trying to leave.
Well,
What
I'll
if they're-
tell you, I live in Kansas City, and the Kansas side's better.
Okay. That's almost fighting words right there. That's fighting words.
All right, now it's getting real. Now it's getting real. Why do you say that, Pete?
You know, it's just you cross the border, and the air is a little clearer. You know, the sun's a little brighter.
Right. Is it that 420 thing that they have in Missouri? Is that what it is?
Yeah. This is smog.
Well, here's the thing, all right? So, Peter, this will tell you, right? So, where do most of the Kansas City Chiefs players live? On the Kansas side or the Missouri side?
I don't keep track, man.
Okay.
I
They live on
think
the golf course.
I think they live on the Missouri side, but not in Kansas City. Because Kansas City on the Missouri side has a bunch of really nice suburbs. So I think that's where they all live.
Okay. So you said it, basically to answer the question, they have a little bit of everything.
We have everything, yeah.
Nice.
Number 10.
What is this is a 2-part question.
Okay.
The first question is, what is your first memory?
My first memory is probably my mom taking me to a Thomas the Tank Engine themed event. And I don't even remember what the event was. I just remember it being like this huge train they had decorated to look like Thomas the Tank Engine.
Okay. All right. By the way, it is a Vicar thing to be obsessed with trains and dinosaurs, and I'm not sure why. But
there's a surprising number of seminarians that are obsessed with trains.
Okay.
I don't know where it comes from. I have my guesses, but
all right, so all right, so the second part then is of this question, how might you use this memory as a sermon illustration?
How do I work Thomas the Tank Engine into a sermon? I don't even know. It would have to be something because Thomas the Tank Engine is steady and he's on the rails and something along that line of thinking.
Oh, dude, there are so many of these you could do.
All right.
I was just going to say, I knew Berg was already like, okay.
He was ready. All right. Fire away, Berg.
Okay. So, for the parable of the mustard seed, you could use Thomas and say, little engines can do big things.
There you go.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You could, when people come in late to church, you could say, like Sir Topham Hatt says, you have caused confusion and delay.
Okay.
You could even say about the devil, Christ beating the devil. Even, eventually, even the fat comptroller gave up. Or you could say it about the judge, right? The persistent widow. Eventually, even the fat comptroller gave up.
There you go. See? It's easy.
Yeah, now it's all coming together now. Makes perfect sense.
Number 9.
Which of the Avengers do you most identify with and why?
It would have to be Iron Man.
Okay.
Because he's the only one that has no special powers.
Okay.
He's just, I don't know, he has to make his own way, I guess. So, and I don't have any superpowers. So.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I am expecting 0-point energy out of the vicarage house by the end of your vicarage year.
Oh, yes. Because the superpower is his brain, right? Number 8.
For context, Bollhagen. For context, Bollhagen. Who do you most identify with?
The
Iron
Hulk.
Man.
Oh yeah.
Well,
What?
well, see, it would be the Hulk, but I generally don't have a temper.
Well, you and the vicar, you guys could Hulk out here by the end of your time, right?
That's right. Well,
Hit
I was
the
thinking
gym,
Iron Man too,
you know?
just because of my pecs.
Vicar is the strongest there is.
Mhm.
Nice.
See, I got lines.
Right. See, I'm not even sure who the Avengers, which ones are.
I thought
Like
for
we
sure you'd
watched
say,
the
Captain America,
Ender's
right?
Game one, and I'm like, when does Superman come out?
Well, see, this is why you just have to have him watch the intro for Hulk Hogan. I
Okay.
am a real American, right?
Right.
And
Rest in
at the
peace.
end of it, he always says, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, right? Respect your
Yep.
parents. Good lines for the vicar
That's right.
and all Christians.
Not
Mhm.
only making him become a good pastor, but a better human.
If
Or
you don't
dare
have
I
that,
say
go to
it.
seminary calling people brother.
No, remember, he's
if
going
you
to say
do
to
that,
us,
that'll be
happens
awesome.
already.
I was going to say, what makes
Right, no,
what makes
but
you
it's
think
gotta
that
have more
doesn't
stank.
happen?
It's
at
got to
the
have more
St. Louis-
stank on it.
Now, if he could trash talk like, those 80 wrestlers, Then I would be impressed. That could be a good thing for a good practice thing for new vicars from now on.
Oh
They have to give a spiel, in the vein of, the Macho Man Randy Savage or Hulk Hogan.
Not Jesse Ventura.
No, although he's got some good ones too in Predator.
That's true.
Or I was thinking Roddy Piper.
That
That guy had some great lines.
who's your wrestler that you?
See, Joe, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you as sacrifice.
Now, if you could work that into a sermon, Vicar, you'll get a gold star.
I just played the Discord sounds that we have.
Yeah, that'll be your law preaching to the congregation. This spells disaster for you.
Right. So that's a good point. All right. On preaching, you can actually learn from a varied sources of communicators of how to, that might be someone you can draw inspiration from.
How would that go
Macho
over
Man
at
Randy Savage.
Right. Like Ash Wednesday, for example. Rend your clothing. Right?
That's right.
You'd really make a statement doing that, and that might find its way back to the seminary.
Yeah.
I think they'd even be impressed at how
Right. They'd name a wing after you.
contemporary
if you
you're
did that.
being. Ha!
Number 8.
Since we're on that topic, what is something about Concordia St. Louis that would surprise us?
About Concordia St. Louis.
Been a few years since I've been there. When was the last time you were there, Berg?
Oh man, 13, 14 years ago.
Back when you were a kid.
That would have been, yes, a while ago. But it would surprise you. So the guys that live in dorms on campus, they don't get served breakfast.
Really?
Yeah. They get it like once a week, or I can't remember. It's not every day. They don't get breakfast every day.
Oh, wow.
So
Is that because they're getting a little,
Is this the
why do you put me in the dorm that's a mile away?
Is this the crucifixion of the flesh? Maybe Fort Wayne should start adopting some of these things.
Or put it there average. We serve breakfast. The brochure.
Unlike some other places.
Well, breakfast, right? Break your fast.
mhm.
And the seminary's like, we see you guys. You've got a couple more inches to lose. Don't break it.
Why is there a treadmill at our desk today?
Number 7.
How much you bench?
I used to be able to bench 2 plates whenever I was in it more often. Right now, I'm probably like at a plate, probably.
Well, you'll be there. You got a year.
Yeah, got some
That comes
time.
back fast. Muscle
Mhm.
memory. Yeah.
We'll get there.
I wouldn't expect you to do the
You'll be looking
315
like an
7
American
times,
gladiator by the time this is all over.
Right. You'll be talking like the Hulk and flexing like Bollhagen. There's your title.
Shooting tennis balls at unwary people.
Right. T-shirt cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6.
This is a 2-part question. The first part is, what is your deepest fear?
My deepest fear is, at least right now, at the point I am in my life, is like standing up in the pulpit and realizing I have prepared absolutely nothing.
That's great. That's great. Because the second part of is, how might we exploit this for the good podcast content?
D&D preaching, man. D&D preaching. We're gonna do a lot of what do they call that? Where you just do whatever they're afraid of time and time again, so they get used to it.
Exposure
aversion
therapy.
therapy.
Exposure therapy.
Exposure. Yeah.
Number 5.
This is also a 2-parter. I don't know why I like them. What confuses you most about the early church fathers?
That sometimes it seems like they just didn't talk to each other. And I guess what I mean by that is you can have 2 guys writing at roughly the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just writing about the same thing in completely different ways. I guess I don't have a good example of that off the top of my head, but
And the second part of that is, how can Berg help you with this problem?
make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Anything to say about that, Berg?
Until there's a few more examples,
All right.
I dare
We'll
not.
get there.
Number 4.
What would be your baseball walk-up song? I know you're a baseball fan.
I'm a big baseball fan. My walk-up song would have to be, the name of it is like right on the tip of my tongue. I got to look it up.
I'm guessing a country song.
It actually is not a country song.
Ooh.
Despacito?
I'm sure you guys have heard this before. You may not. It's 300 Violin Orchestra.
Yeah. Okay. Good man. Let's go.
I'm glad
Right at
somebody
the
knows
drop?
that. What?
Right at the drop, like
Oh,
Vicar
yeah.
22.0. Doon, doon, doon.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just it like fills the stadium. It gets everybody in like the hype mood. It's perfect.
Nice. I don't know that song. I'll have to look it up.
You know the song. You just don't know that you know it.
I'm sure like you've heard it, but nobody knows the name of it. No one knows that it's called 300 Violin Orchestra, but it's been in so many different things that
Okay.
I'm sure somewhere along the line you heard it.
Okay. All right.
I thought he was gonna say the Macarena or something.
A little bit of chicken fry.
Number 3.
If someone up in the congregation comes up to you and asks why we don't have a projector screen, what will be your answer?
Because you have the hymnal right there in front of you, and it does the same thing without having to get another volunteer to have to run the projector screen.
Okay. Best answer is, I don't know, talk to pastor.
That's fair. I don't know. I'm just the vicar.
All right. So because of him, though, that's a good answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like that.
Are you volunteering? Oh,
I'd say I need a new projector screen at my house.
Yeah.
The worker is
you haven't
worth his
seen my
wages.
theater I built in my basement.
You have a
test
theater?
it out at home. Make sure.
Yeah. It's tell them about it, Pete. 120-inch screen.
Yeah, 120-inch 4K. What?
I built the speakers for it.
Got
built
custom
them?
speakers. Got the bass rumbler that shakes your seat.
Nice.
Pretty impressive.
So it's a chair massager and entertainment.
Right?
Yeah,
I'll have to
yeah.
have you over to watch Napoleon Dynamite on it, like you're there.
Yeah.
6'6"
By
ceilings.
the end, you'll want to vote for Pedro. Like,
Okay, dude,
20 you wanna-
I live only 7 hours from where that was shot.
nice.
So we could go.
Man,
We could take this
driving
on
in
the road.
Wyoming is different, man. It's
side note,
only
this is
7
after-
hours away.
This isn't an official question, but have you seen The Big Lebowski?
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay. Have you
Actually,
seen?
I was
Hung
wrong.
Pao
It's only
Enter the Fist?
4:15. We could do it. We could do it easy. 4 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh, a remote show. Great for the
That's
the
right.
podcast, right?
Well, and then we could record the whole way there. It could be like on the road with Berg and Bollhagen.
The funniest thing ever would be to do a recording where we're still in our studios. Berg is just in the middle of nowhere in Wyoming, and we don't even say much about it. We're like, "Oh yeah, I'm out here." Anyway,
Yeah, it's nice. What you preaching on?
Sorry guys, it's getting a little windy. Hang on,
Yeah,
I'll go back into my car.
What are you preaching on? None of your beeswax. Ugh.
Get your own tots.
Get your own sermon ideas.
If only Coach would put me in, I'd be district president by now.
You're just jealous, Bollhagen, because I can spend hours online translating all day.
Number 2.
Why a pastor?
Why me be a pastor?
Mhm. There's a right and wrong answer.
Well, I suppose the right answer is I was called to do it, but how that call came was a little strange, because I didn't want to be a pastor for a long time until people told me I should become a pastor,
Okay.
which is a good reason why you should listen to people when they tell you should become a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like 3 people had to tell me, and then finally I realized that this was an actual career that a person could actually do.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that point, I didn't really have a good excuse not to. So then I went to undergrad and started on that. So
you kind of decided in high school?
yeah, like senior year-ish of high school was when.
Nice. When did you decide, Berg? You were probably
I don't
all
know.
along, weren't you? Young?
Very, very early. Very early.
I was too. If you'd have asked me when I was 4 years old, that's what I said. All right, but this is true. This is something you and I have in common.
Yeah?
So it was a few episodes ago, we talked about what we would do if we weren't pastors. Do you remember what mine was?
No.
Weatherman. Weatherman.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what his is?
Also a meteorologist.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was going to become a meteorologist. Like I was on that track through University of Missouri. Well, as close as you can be to on that track. And then it sort of all at once decided that I was going to go be a pastor instead. So,
well, I was going to say, it sounds like meteorology is something that's going to be replaced by AI. And then I think, well, guess what's happening to us?
Well, you could always do your meteorology on the side.
Ah,
See, it
This
could
is
be like
true.
a side
Right.
income, side hustle.
right. As you're calling someone to repentance, it's going to get even warmer.
I predict 40 days of rain.
And number 1.
What do you bring to this podcast that will make it better?
I think I bring to this podcast a new, fresh take from St. Louis Seminary, because the brothers at Fort Wayne, God bless them, they aren't as fresh and as youthful as we are. So.
Okay. Fresh fly from St. Louis.
Yeah, what's the St. Louis gang sign?
We can't throw those up in St. Louis because
That's
there's
right.
actual gangs.
Right.
So we aren't allowed to have one.
All right. I think we all know 22.0 a little better. So we should do some Confound the Clerics.
Peter, play the intro.
Confound the clerics.
I miss Bert.
Yep.
There'll be references you don't understand that we just do for us. All right. We have to clear in our email bag here. Someone asked us a question about, love the show. Here's a question for you. It says, morally, what do you think about the possibility of using science like this? And the headline is, this groundbreaking procedure prevents children from inheriting incurable disorders. 8 healthy babies born after IVF using DNA from 3 people. All right. So I would say the first aspect is, at first that you'd have to talk about IVF, wouldn't you, Berg?
Yep.
Because IVF often plays fast and loose with embryos. How many thousands? Peter, could you do a quick search on this? How many frozen embryos right now are in storage?
Estimated 600,000 to 1.5 million.
Right. So that's one aspect of it.
Okay. Here, I just want to throw this out for people too, just to show how weird and evil some of this stuff is, okay?
Okay.
The oldest frozen embryo to result in a live birth is believed to be a baby boy named Thaddeus Daniel Pierce. He was born on July 26, 2025 in Ohio, USA. The embryo was frozen in 1994, making it over 30 years old at the time of implantation.
Wow. So there's that aspect of it, right? Because, and oftentimes they'll give a woman a number of embryos and how many of them actually take. And if they do, sometimes they'll have too many and they'll have to select some to take care of. I think that creates all sorts of confusion and does not respect life. As much as someone wants to be a parent, and I can understand that. And I respect the fact that we have lots of people who don't want to be parents, and we need, the church is suffering from not enough children. But at the same time, to me, that is something that deals with life and valuing life in a way that's important to consider. That's the first aspect. The second aspect then is to kind of mix and match, because are you actually curing a disease? Curing disease is curing it is when someone has a disease and you help them. I don't see this as a cure disease. This is getting a baby that you want. So, for example, the other aspect of this is, there are places where they say, well, we've cured our country of Down syndrome. Well, did they cure it? No, they did not. This easily heads down that course. And from a biblical point of view, too, what is marriage? The two becoming one flesh. The three becoming one flesh? I'm not sure about that. Those are my hesitations. What do you think, Berg?
Yeah, I'm doing a search on this. So I'm looking at the BBC on this, and it has to do with the mitochondria. That's the hereditary disease here. And this technique has actually been legal for over 10 years in the UK. Okay? But now this is the so-called first proof that it is leading to children born free from incurable mitochondrial disease. These conditions are normally passed from mother to child, starving the body of energy. This can cause severe disability, and some babies die within days of being born. Children born through the three-person technique inherit most of their DNA, their genetic blueprint from their parents, but also get a tiny amount, about 0.1% from the second woman. So, we talked a little bit about this, if I remember right, in theological ethics. And, it's way easier to fix genetic deals, genetic deficiencies if you are already in, when the embryo is small, right?
Mm-hmm.
The question is, how much can we use of science to fix things that are broken without then going into positivist eugenics, right? Because I think we would say, yeah, fixing deficiencies in other people, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if we're going to say that we can't take the 0.1% from the third mother to fix a mitochondrial disease, okay, well then why can we do organ transplants?
Okay.
I mean, that's from another person, which is a lot more of a percentage.
Right.
Whether it be a kidney, a heart,
Right.
So, I mean, if you want to go down that route, okay, we can talk about all that. But I think the first thing is there's a difference between fixing something that is broken by sin, which is what medicine's supposed to do, right?
Right.
And not this sort of breeding, right, for particular traits or characteristics,
Right. Which is, I mean, don't you think if people want to have their children be more athletic, higher IQ,
well, and there are a lot of unforeseen consequences to messing with the genome. I mean, I was going to mention this last time, but there are things called regulator genes, which control the expression of one or more genes. And there are other things here that, where are you? There is actually a thing called lyse. I don't know. I can't find it right now, but it's where like one gene will actually control many others. So, for example, increased intelligence is associated with nearsightedness.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, let's say you try to eliminate nearsightedness, right? Well, you also miss out on increased intelligence.
Or Peter, as someone with red hair, don't they say you need more pain medication or something like that?
Yeah, so redheads have a lower pain threshold but a higher pain tolerance. So technically I should feel pain quicker than other people, but also I can feel more pain than other people. And then they're also less responsive.
Like anesthesiologists say,
less responsive to painkiller medication and anesthesiology stuff.
Like they need more during surgery and that kind of thing. So Yeah, maybe the listener didn't know that our producer has red hair and a red beard.
So, I mean, without knowing more about how this actually works, I mean, I have to reserve judgment on it. I will say just off the top of my head, if you're going to go in and replace genes anyways, you're going to have to get it from somewhere, you know?
Right.
So,
How
you
about
know,
a spider? Can you get it from a spider? What could go
Well,
wrong?
I mean,
Spider-Man.
the thing about the gene therapy stuff, right, is like usually they're targeting a specific gene and just switching it, right? Like
right.
there's basically 4 options, you know, or you get 2 pairs, right?
Mhm.
So they're not necessarily taking DNA from somebody else. They're using the knowledge from somebody else to.
But you have to get, if you're switching things, you actually have to put in different, you know, genetic material.
I think it's usually proteins that.
Well,
do
Well,
the
this
thing.
this had 3
But-
people, 3 donors. Article did.
yeah, and this has to do with mitochondrial, you know, the mitochondria is like the power plant of the cell. So, you know, and you got to get those proteins from somebody, right? If you're replacing them. And then you are actually choosing which way that those proteins go in there, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, I'm for medicine making things better for people, right?
Mhm.
More of a palliative care than creating con.
Right.
Do you get the reference?
Star Trek?
Yeah. What about it?
That's as far as I got.
Okay. Hey, Vicar, if people want to write in and tell Bollhagen where Khan from Star Trek comes from and why that's important to this discussion, where can they reach us?
You can email us at feedback@clericalerrors.org. We have a Facebook page, facebook.com/clericalerrorspodcast. We have a Twitter
At me, bro!
@clericalerrors, P for podcast. And we have a Patreon, patreon.com/clericalerrorspodcast.
And if you donate through our Patreon, Vicar, and you request, Vicar will write a haiku. Not too many takers on that. All right, so
So I guess related to that, Berg, then do you know about mRNA vaccines?
I do, a little bit. I wouldn't call them vaccines. So,
What would you call them?
gene therapy.
did you ever, they use those on pigs?
Well, they use vaccines on pigs.
Okay.
I think the definition of vaccine has changed. So, because typically what a vaccine originally, what I learned it to be, was an either damaged or dead virus or cell of a particular sort of virus or bacteria, or a weaker one that then is used to
That your body
strengthen the immune-
recognizes, yeah. Where mRNA is basically you teaches your body to make that protein. In a sense, your body becomes a vaccine factory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
It hasn't
haven't
worked out too well for a lot of the people who took the COVID
right?
quote unquote vaccine.
It
Oh.
kind of, that whole time kind of felt like an I Am Legend movie, the beginning of an I Am Legend movie.
So-
didn't it? So, Vicar, what's your stance on the mRNA vaccine?
What a question for the first episode.
Don't worry. People don't care anymore.
You don't have to answer.
I don't have a strong stance, I guess.
All right. We do have a couple more questions. We will get to those at our next episode. So, Vicar, what'd you think? Your first time. It wasn't so scary, was it?
It wasn't so bad, no.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think? Do you think he'll make it, Berg?
He looks Norwegian, so probably.
Are you Norwegian?
I'm Prussian.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I take back everything I said.
That's great. That means I can yell at you a lot, right?
Yes.
Vicar,
He'll respond.
No, no,
Yep.
Vicar.
Yep. He will respond favorably to the Prussian martialism.
All right. Does that mean your rap name is P Rush?
You can make it that if you want to.
All right.
You're my boss.
All right. All right. That brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for listening. This is Bollhagen,
This is Berg.
This is Vicar.
and
May you cause panic and confusion. Not.
Thank you for joining us. This podcast is available on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts. Questions, thoughts, concerns? You can contact us on Facebook at facebook.com/clericalerrorspodcast. on Twitter at clericalerrorsp for podcast, or email us at feedback@clericalairs.org. Thanks for listening to Clerical Errors. See you next time.